You have questions? America's #1 business coach has answers. It's your Broda from Minnesota. Here's another edition of Ask Clay Anything on the Thrive Time Business Coach Radio Show.
Yes, and yes. Thrive Nation, you are in for a laser show today because we are answering questions from great thrivers like you. But before we do it, Travis, can you explain what you've been doing all day today, my friend?
I've been following you around and just watching you work.
And
see how you do things.
What kind of things have you been picking up? Like, for the listeners out there who don't have an opportunity to shadow me, you're shadowing me because you have worked your way up in the company. You've done a great job on the sales team, a great job on the search engine team. Now doing a great job managing the elephant in the room store. You're working your way up. But what things have you learned since shadowing me? What are a few things that you've picked up on, or maybe a few nuances that you've picked up on that maybe the listeners out there would not know if they don't follow me in the epic to-do list and calendar on a daily basis?
You're really good at making things just returning to the basics, keeping it simple. It's following proven systems repeatedly every day, time and time again.
Proven systems repeatedly, over and over, time and time again. I think it's easier to be successful than people think it is. And I think if you're not careful, we make it kind of woo-woo. And so on today's show, what I wanted to do is, I want to answer a question from a thriver. A thriver is saying, hey, we're topping Google now, so we're getting bombarded with we're now getting bombarded with telemarketers. You know, it's like we've worked so hard to be top in Google, and we're getting a lot of inbound leads, but we're also getting a ton of telemarketers and robo-calls. And so how do I deal with it? So we're going to deal with that a little bit today. But also I want to see if you could verify some of the things. We worked with Shaw Homes today. And do you remember what Aaron Antis, how much sales Aaron Antis said they were doing the year before we worked with him? Do you remember him talking to you about that today?
I want to say it was in the mid-20 million.
I think he said $24 million of sales, or maybe $27 million of sales. The first
24 sounds correct. That's
$24 million of sales before they hired us. And he said they did this past year $81 million. Did you see that?
Yes, I did.
Okay, and what were you thinking when you heard that number?
It was pretty mind-blowing.
What about Randy Antrikin today, who sent in a text message saying that he has done $227,000 of sales this week, and it's only Tuesday. Do you remember that conversation?
That one definitely stands out.
So again, it is possible for guys to have success, for people to have success. Randy Antrikin is doing it. His company is PMHOKC.com. PMHOKC.com. His company, PMHOKC.com. They do outdoor living, outdoor fireplaces, chimeneas, outdoor kitchens, liner pools, the whole thing. Shaw Homes. It's shawhomes.com. The company's headed up by Aaron Antis. Aaron Antis. You can check them out, shawhomes.com. It is possible. We had a great call there today we did with another top insurance agent. And so you're seeing it. Does it seem more possible, more doable as you see it more often, or does it seem fuzzy still?
It seems completely possible. I mean, like I said, it's implementing the same systems and sticking to them.
What would you say to the listeners out there that are thinking about signing up for one-on-one coaching or attending a conference, and they're going, but does it work? What would you say to someone who's kind of going, I like the show, I do want help, but I don't know, does it work? What would you say to them?
I think if you just look at the track record, the customers that you've had over the years that have implemented the system, stuck with them, and just followed through have had success, and the ones that have not followed them have not achieved the success they were looking for.
Okay, so on today's show, we have a listener who says, how do I deal with telemarketers? And again, I'm telling you, so if you get to the top of Google, if you get to the top of the Google search engine results as a result of implementing the systems. And by the way, if you want to know the systems you need to implement to get top in Google, just go to thebestseobook.com. Thebestseobook.com. If you go to thebestseobook.com and download the book and implement the systems, you will be top in Google. And when you are top in Google, you're going to get more leads. Yes, more inbound leads. That is a benefit. But you're also going to receive more telemarketers, more people calling you trying to sell you crap. And so I'm going to read the question from the listener. And this is the question from a listener out there by the name of Nathan. He writes, so how do you deal with telemarketers that call your businesses. How do you tell which are legitimate, actually Google and Yelp needing to talk to you about your account, and which ones are scams pretending to be Google? All right, step one. I never, ever, 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 never, ever, ever, at least in the last couple years, have ever taken a sales call. So I would say they're all not legitimate in my mind. So one, if you get a sales call, I know you have to answer the phone because it's your business. So when you answer the phone, this is what I would say. Thank you for calling, let's say, Elephant in the Room. How can I help you? Yeah, I'm calling today on behalf of Yelp. I'm calling today on behalf of Google. I'm calling today on behalf of the local magazine. And I wanted to talk to you about advertising or about your account or whatever that is. I'm going to be very nice and very kind, but I'm going to say, right now at this time, we're just not interested, but thank you so much. Appreciate that. And if they go, well, I really want to talk to you, I'll say, I appreciate that. I'm going to give you about 30 seconds. I'm nice. Now, on the third attempt, I'm going to say, right now, at this moment, I am just in a really weird spot where I no longer am looking to grow my companies, and therefore, I'm not wanting to talk to anybody about growing the company. And usually I can get rid of all telemarketers by telling them that. But that's what I do. Am I missing out on a detail? Is that clear, Travis? Does that make sense, or am I still? Is that vague?
Sounds like it'll work great.
Okay. So the rest of the question says, we are calling you because you haven't verified your Google listing. That is not Google calling you. Or Google, yes, Google has selected you. Should we just hang up on any call that is not a customer? Again, I would listen to 30 seconds of the call, but I would just know that I'd never talk to these people. I'm going to be nice to them in the case that it's really important, but I have yet to have an important inbound telemarketing call this year from Google. Usually Google will communicate to you via your Google My Business account, and only they can do that because they would know what email address is associated with the account because they are, in fact, Google. The next says we currently get 3 to 5 solicitation and robocalls per day, which, by the way, that's very few in comparison to what I receive. I mean, I get dozens, so that's very few. Three to 5 a day, that's fine. If you get dozens, that's fine too. And I figure other small business owners that answer their own phone struggle with this like we do. Finally, what are your please never fall for these scams? Okay, what are your what are your please never fall for these scams advice when it relates to telemarketers? One, I would just never buy from a telemarketer. I just wouldn't. I just would not do it. I don't. Now, I have helped clients grow their businesses by telemarketing. And you say, well, that seems hypocritical, probably, but I just wouldn't buy from a telemarketer. I wouldn't do it. I have had one guy, the printer guy, who called us and said that he wanted to meet us, and he said he would be willing to pay $50 to meet me for 15 minutes to save me money on my printer. And so my assistant at the time booked an appointment for him to come by the office, and he gave us $50 of cash, and she booked the meeting, and that was a real thing. But other than that, I've never bought something from a telemarketer in probably years, maybe even 10 years. I mean, I just don't. I don't. So that would be my rule, is just don't buy things from telemarketers. And then point 8 is we've learned the hard way not to buy ads on restaurant menus. Yep, don't do that. On a golf course guide. Yep, don't do that. Supporting almost anything that is called because they all disappeared and we never saw anything except for our missing money. Yeah, that's just, I would just avoid telemarketers at all cost if at all possible. And hopefully that is helpful for you. Now, Travis, you have been learning different things today. You've been shadowing me. And again, a lot of our listeners out there don't have an opportunity to do that. The to-do list. Does it amaze you that I print off a to-do list every day? Does it shock you? Does it seem normal at this point? I think people out there underestimate the importance of having a to-do list, a printed to-do list, and a printed calendar every day. Could you speak to the listeners about that? Because I think somebody out there wants to implement all the systems we teach but doesn't want to print off the to-do list and the calendar every day. Why in your mind do you think that everybody, preach the good news about the to-do list and the calendar?
Yeah, I mean, back to you asking if it seems normal at this point. Pretty much everybody at Thrive has a clipboard that has a calendar and a to-do list, and that's part of the reason everything functions as well as it does. And as far as people not wanting to implement those in their life or in their business, I think that it just comes down to them wanting to have excuses on why things didn't get done in a lot of areas.
Yep. And so it's just a thing where if you don't print off a to-do list every day and a calendar, you're just not going to have success. Now let's get into the calendar thing for a second. The calendar thing. A lot of people push back about a calendar. They don't like a calendar. They don't want to have a calendar. Why do you think so many people push back about having a calendar that they actually print off and they don't actually just look at via their phone?
Again, I guess just they want to not have that accountability.
Why? Why do you think it's such a sticking point for people to not want to print off their calendar? What is the? I just want to know. I want to get your take on this. Why do you think that people would ask me, Clay, what do I need to do every day to be successful? And I would tell them, print off your calendar and your to-do list every day. Step 1, print off your calendar. Step 2, print off your to-do list every day. And step 3, get up 1 hour before you see another human and plan out your day. Why do you think so many people get hung up on that?
They're just stuck in their ways, and they are stubborn about wanting to do it their way and not the way that you've shown is successful time and time again.
So what would you say to somebody if you were coaching somebody right now who's a nice man or a nice woman, and they go, I want to implement everything you're teaching, but I just don't want to print off my calendar and my to-do list? What would you say? Imagine you're coaching with a client right now. What would you tell them?
That's great, but it's not going to work.
Right. Okay. That's interesting. You're like a human Twitter. You say things in as few words as possible. That's impressive. But again, this is important, right? I mean, this is the thing. You've got to do it. The best-selling author of have you read the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership?
I have not yet.
Okay. Well, this book, a great book by John Maxwell, a two-time Thrive Time show guest. In the book, the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, John Maxwell writes, the secret of your success is determined by your daily agenda. So I would think that people would want to print off their daily agenda. Bill Campbell, the coach, is the former business coach of Steve Jobs, the former business coach of Jeff Bezos, the former business coach of Eric Schmidt, the head of Google. That guy, he has a book called The $1 Trillion Coach. And in that meeting, he talks about being mentally present with people and physically present. How often during a client meeting do I allow myself to be interrupted by a phone call?
Never.
Where's my phone, usually?
Usually it's outside of the room that the meeting's being held.
How is it possible that my wife and kids are possibly... How is it possible that I can have a sustainable marriage and that my wife and kids, we have a good relationship when I have my phone off during the day? How is that possible? What do you think I do?
You block out certain time to spend with them during the rest of your day.
And what if they really needed to reach me? How would they do it? How do you think my wife or kids could really reach me if they needed to?
Well, they either could show up or they know how to get in contact with Mr. Jonathan.
That's right. That's right. But so many business owners can't turn their phone off. Have you ever worked for a business owner that cannot turn their phone off? They just sit there all day, even in a staff meeting, and get interrupted?
The majority of them.
During my staff meetings, do I get interrupted by cell phone calls?
Not once.
Where does my wife work in the office? For people out there who don't shadow me, where's my wife working?
She works right there, right next to you.
So she's up there in the office. How many hours a day do you see her up there, usually, if you're up there?
At least probably 6 to 7.
Okay. It's interesting. I think if the listeners out there could get these. So what are the principles we need to take from today's show? 1, print off a to-do list every day. 2, print off a calendar every single day. 3, get up 1 hour before you see another human and block out your calendar. 4, turn off your phone and be mentally present and physically present when you do things. Be both mentally and physically present when you do things. And those are my tips for success, and that is how to deal with telemarketers. So congratulations. I'm glad that you are now top in Google. And as a reward, you will now get more leads than ever, but you will now also get more telemarketers than ever. And it is increasingly important that you learn how to deal with telemarketers robocalls, and distractions. And distractions are things that are not getting you closer towards your goal. Think about this. Make your goals today for your faith, your family, your finance, your fitness, your friendship, and your fun. What? Make your goals every morning for your faith, your family, your finances, your friendship, your fitness, and your fun. What? Make a list. Sit down today. Get out a sheet of paper and make a list of your goals today for your faith, your family, your finances, your fitness, your friendship, and your fun. And everything that's not getting you closer towards your goals is a distraction. And everything that's getting you closer towards your goals, that is traction. And a telemarketer is a distraction. So there's nothing that I want that a telemarketer could offer me, because if I did want it, it would be on my to-do list and I would reach out to that business. But don't be distracted, because anything that's not on my to-do list is a distraction. No matter what it was, it's a distraction. And hopefully that offers somebody out there the advice that they need. And now, without any further ado, we like to end each and every show with a boom. So here we go. 3, 2, 1, boom. Stop what you're doing and think about this for a second. What would happen if your company was suddenly able to generate exponentially more quality sales leads? That would be incredible. What would happen if your company came up at the top or near the top of the Google search engine results?
Well, I would just feel overwhelmed with all that business.
How many thousands of dollars in lost sales or millions of dollars in lost sales are you missing out on simply because your potential customers can't find you when they go online to search for the products and services that you offer?
I refuse to think that thought because I don't want any more business.
Unless you are a dirty communist that hates money, my new book, Search Engine Domination, will help you grow your business. In my new book, Search Engine Domination, we will teach you the specific steps that you need to take to dominate the search engine results.
What do you mean by dominate?
You see, in my new book, Search Engine Domination, we will teach you the specific steps that you need to take to dominate search engine results. Download your free ebook copy today at thebestseobook.com. I repeat, that's thebestseobook.com.
My name is Amy Baltimore, and I am a CPA in Covington, Tennessee. I've been working with the Thrive team now for about a year. One of the first things that they did was to update my website and my search engine optimization. I prior had a website, but I was not being found on Google, and all of my new business was coming through referrals from friends, family, etc. And right away, I started to see results. People were calling and coming in saying that they found me on Google. They just Googled CPA near me, and there I was at the top of the page. And so it's been a great help to my business.
Again, you can download your free ebook copy today at thebestseobook.com.
Hey, this is Dustin Huff. I'm with Keystone Harbor Marina. We joined Thrive back in January and have been working with these guys for about 7 months. During that time period, we have moved up our Google rank through reviews and SEO processes that we've compiled through these guys. Our leads have gone from about 4 a week to now 165 a week. So the process works. I will tell you from experience, once you begin, you have to stay with it. As long as you continually do this week in and week out, month in and month out, you'll continually grow.
The system works, but nothing works unless you do. You've got to take some action. Download the ebook for free today at thebestseobook.com.
Hello, my name is Daniel with Daniel's Heating and Air here in Amarillo, Texas. The way Google has affected my business, we have got a lot of calls from Google. Right now it's July, and we've had the best month ever. And it took us about 8 to 10 months to get on top of Google, and I'm glad we did.
Remember, nothing works unless you do. You have to go to thebestseobook.com today. Download the ebook for free. Just download that ebook for free, and you'll be off to the races.
Hi, my name is Christina Nemus. I'm the owner and operator of Angel's Touch Auto Body and Detailing in Bourne, Massachusetts. We have been working with Thrive and their coaching for, say, 8 to 9 months, and it took us about 6 months, 5 to 6 months to get on the top of Google, and with their help with the website and marketing, and the SEO and retargeting ads with Google, and it has been phenomenal. We just have light and day business coming in, phone calls coming in, walk-ins, referrals. It's just through the roof, and we couldn't be happier. At the moment, we are up 50% this year from the previous year, and not only is that part of our own hard work and diligence, but also with the help of Thrive and what they've done for us and getting us on the top of Google and, you know, all their knowledge and coaching. And yeah, so super grateful, super pumped to see what the future holds for all of us. Thank you.
This is your year to thrive. Success you will find. Today is your day, and now is your time.
Lazy hands make for poverty, but diligent hands bring wealth. Proverbs 10:4. I'm here to tell you, you can do it if you can just motivate yourself. 12 the masses had to cut off a few, so on the daily you and I could rendezvous. A misshapen tree that I had to prune. I had to make cuts to be here daily at noon. So like a tidal wave of knowledge monsoon, I could rain on the parades of those who doubt in you. Are you the next Rockefeller or the next guru, or the next Dr. King who's changing the rules? Walls are in your way, will you run right through? Like a running back, forth the one, it's up to you. I remember my days back in the dorm room, tuned to the gloom like the temple of doom, overwhelmed with the doubts that try to consume my hope for the future that I could pursue. But from the mountaintop now I can conclude that you have what it takes if you want the view to.
This is your year to thrive. Success you will find. Today is your day, and now is your time. It's your year to thrive. Success you will find. Today is your day, and now is your time.
This moment is profound, cause you're above the ground. Your road might have been rough, but what you got now is now. We're here to pick you up and to even show you how, but you gotta be resourceful with that old plow. Started from the bottom, but I worked my way up, cause by 4 a.m. I've always been prayed up. Rise and grind as your time, don't dare let up. You gotta get it, don't quit it till your seeds grow up.
This is your year to thrive.
Come on.
Success you will find.
Yes.
Today is your day,
Somebody say,
and now is your time.
it's your time.
It's your year to thrive.
Come on.
Success you will find. Today is your day, and now is your time.
It's your time.
Yeah.
We all have a wish and we all want to win, but we cannot begin without self-discipline. If you fall on your face, get yourself up again. Attach yourself to goals, not fail with the friends. When the storms get rough and it's scattered and leave, you only be there with yourself and what you believe. We believe in you, but not as much as God does. If you're going through hell, he's got nothing but love. Apply what you learn, increase what you earn, and in due time
You
you
got
have money to burn.
Apply what you learn, increase what you burn, and in due time you got money to burn.
Sing it.
Apply what you learn, increase what you burn, in due time you got money to burn.
Sing it.
Apply what you learn,
Sing it.
increase what you burn.
Yes.
In due time you got money to
With this
burn.
miracle,
Yeah.
I look to shout down the doubters, kill the weeds that be killing your dream flowers, empower you to devour all the obstacles that make your sweet dreams sour. As for me, I used to stutter, but now I'm on the microphone smooth like butter. If I can do it, I know you can too, but you must stick to it like postage do. And while Merton's on the chorus, singing what he sings, I encourage you to dream big dreams.
Today is your day,
Today's your day,
and now is your time.
It's your time.
This is your year to thrive.
sing it.
Success you will find. Today is your day,
It's your day,
and now is your time.
it's your time.
Today is your day,
Come on.
and now is your time.
Sing it, Merton.
Today is your day, now is your time.
I realize I can't sing like that, but I can talk and play the woodblock. Okay. If you guys need me, I'll just be over here.